Hello, lovely Aries. This is your reading for the week of October 13th, or when you hear it and it resonates. It won't be for all Aries, of course, and it could be for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus even, or just a lot of Aries in your chart. So as I started doing this reading, I saw a fig, and it was a dried fig. And so I started questioning, what about the fig? And then I saw this fig being rehydrated in water. So when I looked up what the meaning of the fig was, there are many of them, but depending upon what level you want to read it on, it can mean different things, but they're all of a similar quality, which is life supportive, life enhancing, protection, fruitfulness, abundance, peace. The one that really struck me, and this is what it felt like when I was looking at this fig being rehydrated, was that it felt to me as though it was you reabsorbing the water of life, something spiritual, something sacred, that it was coming to life again for you in a way where now this was going to be lush. And so I came across this particular definition of it. Encourages us to look for new openings in life, to consciously co-create for the greater good. And that really is what it felt like. So whether or not the greater good is, excuse me, you and your family, whether or not it's for the world, it still talks about security, abundance, peace, and that sense of life being in good hands, life turning around and turning into something that was nourishing and supportive. So when I started pulling the cards, it was interesting to me because one of the first ones that I pulled was power. And this particular card, speaks about power as being something that comes from the center of us, not something that comes from our mind, but something that comes from the essential nature of who we are, which is divine beings. Then you're being suggested here, Aries, that whatever stage you're in now, and it feels like it is a stage, because the feeling of the fig is that it is this little gem of a fruit which provides all of this spiritual nourishment, the security, the abundance, the well-being, the co-creation, the ability to co-create. And then it's kind of, it's been dried up a little bit, and it's needing something to bring it back to life. And so I'm looking at this, if this were a situation about where you're at in your life now, I feel like this is about you bringing your spiritual nature and your personal power, your personal spiritual power back online in a way where it's going to infuse the rest of your life with new beginnings. And what I see here is a few different cards that are really connected in terms of thematic instruction. One is, as I said, the power coming from that center part of you, along with the idea of surrendering into. And for me, surrendering into, it isn't giving up. It's surrendering in a way where it is allowing for a deliberate, calm presence with whatever's going on. And again, that to me feels like, okay, this water, this wisdom, opening this up. You get the idea also. You've got the discipline card, the structured free flow card, and the structure card. So when I put those together, what it feels like this is saying to you is, Aries, this is a fantastic time for you to really be in that sense of your personal power, and to make sure that what you're doing in your life now reinforces that. So that might be creating ritual, creating structure. It might be you redefining where the structures you are now currently in are not supporting you, where they're keeping this fig dehydrated, and what needs to change in order for the water to flow in. Now, what is water? Water is emotion, right? But water is also one of the key elements we associate with cleansing. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, I think, Aries, what you're being asked to do, it's also have no opinion, which is like be as neutral as you can about things, do one thing at a time, surrender into, and it feels like what this is saying to me is allow the emotions to be there in a supportive way, and to help maybe mitigate, balance out some of what in the past might have been really fiery choices that could have actually created some of the dehydration of this beautiful spiritual resource that you have. And that was something that I'm just getting now. Okay, now the idea of have no opinion, do only one thing at a time, and you've got this other card. It's like, where do you need to shift your perception in a way that allows you to settle into this sense of almost neutrality? But it's not just neutrality, it's a benign neutrality. It's not just neutral as in I don't care. It's neutral as in I'm present, I'm understanding the power that I have. I'm going to take this power seriously. I'm going to take the ability to activate this spiritual connection and this spiritual power seriously. And I'm going to create the structure that I need in order to be able to maintain that sense of observation and that sense of power beyond my personality as being active in this situation. That I'm going to remind myself I am co-creating, and as I co-create, where I place my mind and my attitude, because that's energy, where I place those things really matters. So I'm going to do what I need to do in order to be able to maintain that. Now, Aries, I'm just hearing now, this could be something that is happening completely at an internal level for you. And again, wherever the placement is in your chart and whatever phase you're at in your life, developmentally and psychologically and spiritually, it's going to mean different things for everybody. But what it feels to me overall is what you're really being reminded of is that, and again, you get the shh, quiet, okay? You're being reminded that however much you may have experienced the power through your personality, through the determination of your personality, you have got way more power when you link it to that deeper sense of who you are. And that you can actually achieve more of what you would like by stepping back, by allowing that dried fig, which I will say I'm looking at as your spiritual power, your spiritual connection to your deeper self. The more you allow your emotions to be present instead of just your logical linear intention to do something, and the more you allow it to be there quietly and gently open this up in you again, the more you're also going to be aligned with what is valuable to you at this moment in time. So it could be your own spiritual growth. It could be working with a situation that you're in societally, in your family, culturally, whatever, that whatever structure it is that you are part of, that may need to be readjusted in order for you to live within this beautiful, powerful sense of your connection to the divine and your ability to co-create. Now, again, and now you get the grace card, which is, I feel this is probably for some of you related to a specific situation. Grace is not earned. Grace is a state in which we receive for no apparent reason a divine influence which strengthens us in a way that eases whatever problematic or miserable state we find ourselves. Grace needs only to be accepted in order to be received. And I think this is super important, and that goes with the power card and the surrender card. Surrendering is not giving up to a situation. For me, I feel like this surrender is surrendering into that deeper part of you beyond your personality, which has been able to get things done, make things happen. But now it seems as though this is you allowing your emotions, your deep emotions, to really influence how you develop and what you develop, what you co-create. Because I feel like now you're going to be creating, we're all co-creating, whether we realize it or not. It's just a matter of what we ask for, what our heart yearns for. And I feel like this is you tuning into what your heart really wants, instead of just going forward and doing all the things that you would have done to keep something going that you maybe created in a time or at a time when you were not aligned with your deepest best interest. You were more aligned with a coping mechanism, a fear, a wound. Now it's time. Now you've done a lot of work. A lot of you Aries have done a lot of work to overcome a lot of those kinds of structures, relationships, habits that were basically just helping you keep a situation running that seemed like a good idea at the time, but times have changed. I see this as a great spiritual step up for you. I see this as a time of great power, and you're really being reminded, pay attention now to your feelings and trust. Lean into grace and lean into power, and allow that quality of energy to speak to you, to speak through you in terms of what would you like to create now for yourselves, Aries? You can be really, really super hard workers. And often it's often, as much as it's connected to what you want, often what you want is connected to making other people okay and keeping yourself safe within a situation. Now this is where you get to do it from an expanded heart place about your desires. And I feel the spiritual quality of this is essential, however you name it, however you define it. That's it, my dears. Take care.